Suzanne Lynch, welcome to my podcast.
Thank you, Don.
It's wonderful to have you here. God, you're looking great. You're 74 years old now.
I am, yes. It's hard to admit it, but every year I turn 29, so I'm not worried.
Why is it hard to admit it?
It used to be. For years I didn't admit how old I was, actually. I'd say I'm, 39 and holding and 39 and GST. But then I got to 70 and I thought, you know what, I'm doing okay. And now at 74, I'm out there leaping around on stage, still having an absolute ball, I have to say. I've been singing with Shane and Shazam. Do you remember Shane from Come On? The singer Shane, you're too young. You're far too young. A lot of the viewers will know Shane from Come On, and he's 79 and he's still leaping around. So I figure, well, and the Lady Killers, of course, I still sing with them, and they're all much younger than me, so...
Yeah, Lady Killers, that's a band you've got with Jackie Clark and Tina Cross.
That's it.
Yeah, it's a 60-year music career. It's crazy. Like it's an industry that's notorious for chewing people up and spitting them out, and you've had this remarkable longevity.
I know, and I think all I've ever done is answer the telephone. If you've read my book, you'll know. I just answer the phone, and someone says, "Can you do this?" And I go, "Yes, okay," and then I figure out how to do it. But that's just continued on. And I think with the Lady Killers, we're all so different than each other, personalities and voice-wise, that we just have hit it off so well, and we sound amazing together. When we put our sound together, it becomes one whole fantastic sound. And so we still go on stage after 20 years. I've been in the Lady Killers, and we still go on stage and look at each other and laugh at how good we sound sometimes.
Yeah.
A lot of rehearsal, a lot of coffee, and rehearsal. That's what does it.
And you got this brand new book out called Yesterday When I Was Young, which is sort of like a collection of your life's work. Yeah, how do you feel when you look back on all of it?
Amazed.
Yeah.
It was a really interesting process, actually, because I started writing it for my grandchildren because my daughter's mother-in-law said to me, she said, little Lily, who's 10, she's one of my grandchildren, keeps saying, why has Nanny got all those sparkly dresses in her wardrobe? And why do people look at her? And everyone seems to know her. And she said, well, you don't know what your nanny does, do you? And she said, no. And so she said to me, you should write it down. You should write down your history. And then I started talking to my children, Andrew and Amy, and neither of them really knew either. So when COVID hit, I thought, right, sit down, just start writing, because I had the time and the space to do it, actually. And I guess it's weird because it puts you back at that time frame. I felt like I was 15 again. I felt like I was a child again. You sort of feel like you were when you were that age, and then I just kept on going.
Yeah, you mentioned your son, or you called him Andrew. I've known him as Andy for maybe
he's Andy, yeah,
25 years.
I know.
He's in the band Z. He's also been a big part of the band The Feelers.
Yes.
And years ago, no one will remember this, but I remember this. He was the hot young thing on the Just Juice ad.
He was. I remember him getting so upset because all the kids would be in the audience when he was first in Z going, Just Juice, Just Juice. And he got quite upset about that.
Right, because he's a serious musician and he didn't want to be the Just Juice boy.
Yeah, and then he said, and they're throwing their dirty clothes at us. And we said, come on,
With you as his mum, he never had a chance, did he? It was always going to be a music career.
It was, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
Another string in your bow. You're a coach. Can you I'm tone deaf. I'm a terrible singer. Can you teach anyone to sing? Can anyone be taught or not really? There's some people that are just.
It's helpful if you have a natural talent. There's one person I have taught to sing who could not sing in tune, and I found that fascinating as an exercise. Really, he was a well-known drummer's son, and I thought, we should be able to sing, and he's obviously got rhythm, he's out playing drums in a band, and he wanted to be able to sing vocal harmony. And I got him to sing a note, and he was at least a fifth of the way from it. He couldn't hear where it should be. So I got him to slide his voice up and down until he thought he heard it the same, and it took about 3 months, and then he could sing in tune. Yeah. And the thing I said to him was, do you remember being sung to by your mum when you were young? Did you ever know Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star? and he sang it perfectly. And I thought, okay, so that part of his brain's just sort of gone to sleep. The music side needs to be rewoken. But a lot of people just can't hear him or never be able to sing in tune.
Yeah, that's me.
Can you sing La?
La.
Yeah, there you go.
No, you're writing me off already.
No, go La.
La.
Nearly.
Oh, you're being very generous. Yeah, I'm so excited to get into the whole Suzanne Lynch story in sort of chronological order. But just before we do that, so New Zealand Music Hall of Fame, you got admitted, and is that what you say? You got admitted?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, in 2020, same year as Peter Poser, which was unfortunately 1 year after he died.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, and that was a real thrill, actually. Really grateful to them for remembering us. The Chicks only lasted 5 years, really. But people tell me we made a big impact in New Zealand, but we weren't aware of that, really.
At the time?
No.
What do you mean you weren't aware of it at the time?
Well, I was only 14 or 15, and I was just having fun, We didn't realise the power of television, I guess, that gets you out there, in your audience.
Yeah, so let's talk about the Chicks. So, New Zealand Music Hall of Fame in 2020. The Chicks were yourself and your sister Judy. Like two of the most famous people in New Zealand in the 1960s. Would that be fair to say?
Probably would.
Yeah. So
I guess so.
So you were 14, 15 at the time?
Yep.
And your sister's 2 years older?
Yeah, she was 16 and a half.
Yeah, so how did it all come about? What did Peter Poser, who I mentioned just before, have to do with this?
Well, we lived in Te Atatu South at the time, and we could hear it was the holidays, school holidays, playing with some friends, and we heard a guitar being played down the road a little bit, so we crept through the bushes and had a look. And Judy, who was older than me, said, "Oh my gosh, that's Peter Poser." I was only about 13 then, I think. And we crept up there. He saw us and he said, "Come up and I'll give you an autograph." And he said...
So he was a real big deal at the time?
He was a real big deal at the time, yeah. He had an album out that was very popular. White Rabbit was his hit song. And he was playing acoustic guitar on these people's deck. So we walked up on the deck and our friends said to him, "These girls sing," because we've always sung around the piano and, at home. I was singing to records and things by then. And he said, "Oh, if you sing the song, I'll give you an autograph." So we did. And we had a particularly bad choice for the first song. It was "I Don't Want to Spoil the Party," because it was by the Beatles. And, of course, wasn't a particularly good one when we were... "I don't want to spoil the party when," and it was like they were obviously having a party. And then we did Tobacco Road, complete with actions. And his manager was sitting there, Ron Dalton, who said, "I'm looking for a new act because I'm about to launch Dinah Lee in Australia. So I'd like to find a song for you girls and, give you a call. Can you give me your phone number?" And he wrote it down on the back of his cigarette packet, basically, and rang a couple of weeks later with the Hucklebuck.
You do the Hucklebuck, that's the song. This all sounds like very...
crazy.
Like I'm thinking from the lens of 2025.
Yeah.
From an appearance perspective, it sounds dodgy.
It sounds really dodgy. I know.
But did it seem dodgy at the time or no?
No, not at all.
And so you guys became like real famous really quickly. What did fame in New Zealand look like then? Like were you household names? Yeah, you had like fans or groupies that sort of...
Once we were on Come On, absolutely, yeah, became household names.
Yes, Come On's a TV show?
Yes, Come On's a TV show, and I mean, it was black and white telly, so if they had the telly on there, we were going, we were there doing our thing. So they couldn't really avoid us in a way, and Mr. Lee Grant was another big deal in those days, and Sandy Edmonds. So...
Yeah, because there was only one TV channel, eh?
There's only one TV channel. You either had it on or off. And as a lady said to me in the supermarket one day, "I feel like I've lost half my lounge furniture when you girls aren't on the telly anymore." So we were obviously, probably on there all the time as far as they were concerned. So I couldn't catch a bus. We couldn't really go flatting. We had no time to go flatting. We were out working all the time.
You couldn't catch a bus because you were too famous?
Yeah, basically. You'd get people screaming and
Really?
coming up and asking you for an autograph. Oh, it was crazy times. Yeah.
Good crazy or
Wow.
like daunting?
It was daunting to me.
You were a kid.
I was just a kid, yeah. And, we'd be in the backstage of a theatre and they'd be coming in through fans would be climbing in through the windows and banging on the doors and, you'd get back to your motel and they're all, ah! So, yeah, it was heady times.
It's well documented. Like a lot of child stars end up really messed up, really screwed up.
They do.
But you seem you're good.
I'm really good because I was always younger than everybody else. The others were all 17, 18, and I was 15, and so I was like the observer. I'd say, I was one of those observer type people, and a bit shy. So I'd just sit back and look And then I thought, I never want to be like that, looking at them. So I didn't really have any really bad stories to say because I was never involved in them. We had chaperones everywhere we went, my mother or my father, until I was 16 or 17 probably.
Yeah, were they? How did they feel about it at the time? Were they worried about it? Were they concerned?
No, they seemed quite excited about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I would want my 14 or 15-year-old to be out on the road with a bunch of long-haired band boys, quite frankly, these days. But I never saw any drugs as such.
I was going to ask you about that, yeah, because drugs are rife now. But
They're rife now.
Back then, I suppose the worst it would have been would be a bit of cannabis.
Wasn't even that.
Yeah.
I don't think they even discovered that till 69 or 70 or something.
With lots of alcohol?
Probably too many bourbon and cokes was all they had, yeah.
Yeah. And lots of durries.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you were still at school at the time, Henderson High.
I was.
Yeah. It's bizarre, isn't it? So you're this household name. You're on TV. You can't catch the bus, but you're still going to school. What were your schoolmates like? Were they envious?
I found I went from having me being the observer, right, up until that point. I found that I went from having 3 best friends to 103 best friends, and I soon figured out that there were only 3 best friends. The others were all, oh, can you sing something? And they used to bail Judy and I up, if, in a corner somewhere and say, sing a song, come on, sing a song. And, of course, I had the embarrassment of going to school after we'd had our hair all piled up on top of our heads, walking in looking like somebody else. And they were the days of Panama hats, gloves. You had to kneel down and check the length of your skirt, all that sort of thing. So I was frowned upon by the teachers as a lowly pop singer.
What did they want you to be? Like a secretary?
Yeah, secretary, which I hated. You'd have had to chain me to the desk to be a secretary. I was quite good at it, but didn't want to know.
Was the money good? Was it quite lucrative, or did you?
I made enough to buy myself a Morris Minor. That's about it, really.
Right. Morris Minor's like a popular car at the time.
It was.
Like a brand new one, or?
No, a second-hand one.
How much did you pay for a car?
I think it was these days about $500 or something. Yeah,
right.
Pretty cool. Sort of a light green.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I was pretty proud of it.
Did you guys, you and your sister Judy, did you realise at the time like the impact you were having on New Zealand pop culture?
No. Judy may have. She's older than me.
Yeah.
She may have. I was just the kid doing what I was told. Really, is the way I look at it, because when I look back, all I remember is I was just so excited about everything. We had such a great time on doing Come On and doing our shows, because there was a lot of camaraderie between all the musicians then. Everybody was young. Music was fresh and new, and you couldn't wait for the next Beatles album to come out. And then I discovered the Fifth Dimension with all their harmonies. This is amazing. So it was a bit like that. It was a very exciting time, is all I remember. I never went out anywhere, because when we went to a show, we were chaperoned there, rehearsed, did our show, got taken home. So, we didn't meet a lot of people, except for the people in the business.
Seems like you had a good support network around you.
I did.
And I've seen a whole lot of clips on YouTube, and I've seen the photos in your book, and like by today's standards, like the outfits you were wearing and the dresses, they seem fairly.
What was I thinking?
No, they seem fairly, I don't know, they're not overly racy, but like on reflection, were you sort of sexualised or not really?
No, not really.
And
too young, I think. We were just cute, Everyone treated us like kid sisters, really. I'd have to say.
That's so good to hear. What were the biggest challenges of being a young woman in the New Zealand music industry in the 60s?
I guess I had a strange teenage years because I was working all the time. Every weekend we were out gigging, and then we were learning all our things for Come On or whatever we were doing, and then we'd be on a tour, and you'd find that you might have one day off, and I'd sit at home and Judy would have friends and she'd go out, and I'd be sitting there thinking, I've got no one I know well enough to call that's not going to be out at a gig doing something to say, hey, you want to hang out? Want to come and do something? So it was, I was just all work, no play, really, for me.
But you loved it.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have had it any other way.
And you dropped out of school.
Yes.
Yeah. What was the straw that broke the camel's back? Was it like just you're too famous, or you realised that you didn't need it because you were going to make more money doing this than what you could do? It was the
straw that broke the camel's back. There was a teacher there with a class that I didn't really like, and she'd say any questions. I'd put my hand up, and she'd ignore me completely, because she looked down at me like I was this terrible person. And I was still me, I was the teacher's pet before that. And I couldn't understand that, why she'd treat me so differently. And I got really annoyed with the school, really, because there were all these kids pointing and carrying on at my hairdo and this, that and the other. So even though I'm quite shy, I got up the courage to march into the headmaster's office and said, I'm leaving. And he just went, but, you're second in the class. And I said, I'm leaving. And that was it. I got really busy after that and went to my singing teacher. So I learnt singing instead.
On reflection, do you think that it was envy from the teacher? What do you reckon?
I don't know what it was. I think it was the times, just the times. It was pop singers. I mean, my father used to say, "Oh, those Beatles with their long hair,"
You look back now, yeah.
Nothing long about it.
They wore suits.
They wore suits. They looked amazing. And of course, the Stones were like, "Oh, past him."
It was a different time, eh?
It was just a different time. So just remember the Panama hats, the gloves. You walk into school, there's deathly silence, and you don't speak in class. You sit down, and totally different than. These days you walk into a classroom and I still can't believe it. All the kids are chatting away and, I sort of want to go, hey, when someone comes in the class, you all sit down and be quiet. But they don't these days.
Yeah.
So it's brought up differently.
Yeah, what do you reckon? Is society better now or better then?
Ooh. In some ways I think it was simpler then and better then because it was simpler. I worry about my grandchildren with iPads and AI and everything else that they're doing. I still want my grandkids to learn their times table, and they are. So I'm a bit old school with that.
Is that old school, is it?
It is old school, because most of them get an iPad out and go, right. So, yeah, no, I don't know. I think, times were simpler back then, just simpler.
What about any creeps in the industry? Like, did you encounter any like undesirable people or anything dodgy or inappropriate that you look back now?
The odd one.
Yeah, but it seems like you had a good support network. Like
well, that's it. We had our chaperones, and we had each other as well. So yeah, we were pretty much chaperoned, especially while we were very young.
Yeah. There's one story in your book. You talk about a photographer from... It's a newspaper that doesn't exist anymore, but it's called The Truth. It was like a New Zealand tabloid, and he took photos of you in your bikini and tried to get you to take your top off.
That's right.
How old were you at the time?
Just turned 15. And I said...
That's alarming.
It's very alarming. And we actually sat there for a second before I said, no. And Judy was, thinking, oh, well, it's just for our personal use. And then we looked at each other and both went, no, because that was not going to happen. And I just stalked off, typical me, stalked off, got in my little Morris Minor, and said to Judy, "Are you coming?" And we went home. So,
So you were quite assertive. Do you think, or quite confident?
I'm one of those people that's quite placid, really, but there is a line that you don't cross. You know. I suppose there is a line that becomes in the sand, and I'm a great believer. I'm an honest person, so if somebody's being dishonest or somebody's trying on something like that, it's a bit like when I marched into the headmaster's office for me, and I go, "That's not right. You know, you shouldn't do that." Line in the sand. Otherwise, I'm as placid as a puppy dog, honestly.
But did you guys tell your parents or anyone about the guy from The Truth?
No. And he wasn't going to put the photo of us in our bikinis in The Truth. He said they were just for our personal use.
For whose personal use?
For Judy's and mine.
Right.
So
he was just being a good guy.
Yeah, he was just being, you look so great, you girls. Oh, just, you're both so lovely. And, of course, even the bikinis, we had to change into those because he'd asked us to bring them. And we put them on thinking, I don't like this very much. And Judy said, "Oh, it's all right, we're just bikinis, because she looked great. I looked ridiculous, quite frankly. And
What do you mean?
Well, I was like a yard of pump water, straight up and down at 15. But he said they'll never see the light of day. And, of course, the very next Saturday, there they were on the front page of the Jolly Truth, so I'm so glad I didn't take my top off because I would never have lived that down to this day.
Wow, so you're 15 years old and you're on the front cover of the Truth newspaper
in a bikini.
In your bikini.
Without permission, yeah. So my parents were fairly horrified about that. But they didn't even think about stuff like that in those days very much.
Yeah, because I mentioned before about the outfits you wore on TV, and you said they're cute more than sexual, but that's definitely like sexualising a young girl, isn't it?
Yeah. But we were so naive we didn't even realise, It was just the line in the sand came in when he said, "Take your tops off," and I thought, nope, not doing that. Thank goodness.
And it was like a family business. Your parents would type out a fan letter?
Yes. I mean, I didn't have too much to do with the fan mail and stuff. It was my mum and Judy, because Judy always wanted to be like Hayley Mills, dancing and singing and all that. And so she used to tell Mum where we'd been and all those sorts of things, and Mum would type it all up on her old typewriter. And she started the fan club, and they used to answer all the mail. So there were a lot of fans in our fan club, but I'd say a few things, but I was never part of the putting out of the fan club thing.
How many letters were being sent out? How much mail were you getting?
Well, Judy gave me some to look at, and the stack was about this high.
Unreal.
Yeah, they were constantly coming in.
Yeah, it's fascinating, just a different time, because I suppose now the equivalent now is just sending someone you like a DM on Instagram or whatever.
That's right.
Back then it was writing a physical letter.
It was writing a physical letter.
Or I suppose getting your number out of the white pages.
Yeah.
Did people ring you at home?
Yes. And Mum would always say, "Oh, the girls are sleeping. You'll have to ring back later." Yeah.
And then why did the chicks break up after 5 years? Did your sister just have enough?
I think we'd both sort of been... Well, yeah, it was more Judy. I think we'd just been there, done that, really. And you could never win an award, really. Because they didn't give duos an award. It was you were either a group, which was a band, or you were a solo artist. So Judy got a bit annoyed about that. And Ray Columbus, she was older then. I was 20, she was nearly 23. So she wanted to travel and do things, which is fair enough. So we thought, and Come On had finished, all that era had sort of passed, and it was 1970, so we were moving into a different sort of era, really. So she went to Hong Kong to do a job over there, which Ray Columbus got her for a while. And then she ended up moving to Australia and getting in a band called the Rubber Band in Australia, and they did a lot of gigs. She was just grown up, really. It was as simple as that. And I was still only 20 or 19 or something, 19 in 1970. So, because my birthday's at the end of the year. So I went and got the offer of doing Happenin'. So.
Oh, what's that, another TV show?
Another TV show, yeah.
Same sort of thing as Come On?
More theatrical, really.
Right. So what's happening in like a weekly, like a variety show?
It was a weekly variety show, yeah.
Right. And you're a core cast, so you're on
Yes,
every week.
on every week.
Right.
With people like Craig Scott. Don't know if you've heard of him. Ray Wolfe. I think there was Shane there. He was a guest, I think. You're just with different guests and things.
And is this when you became just Suzanne?
Yes.
Yeah, so before Beyonce,
Yeah.
before Madonna, you were the OG.
Yeah.
You and Cher were the original
Yeah,
OG.
we're the originals, yeah.
Yeah.
And Shane. Shane was an original as well, because he was just called Shane. So Ray Columbus came up with that. He said, because Suzanne Donaldson is a long name to say, so he just shortened it to Suzanne.
And that was wildly successful, right?
Yes, it was great.
As a solo artist. Yeah, in 1970, you were named New Zealand's Entertainer of the Year.
I was, which was a shock, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you've had this chat with your sister, but yeah, how did she feel about that? Obviously she's proud of you, but I mean,
Yeah.
was she a little bit jealous?
No, she's never shown that,
Yeah.
really. Probably. I don't know, to be honest. She's always been very supportive,
Yeah.
so not really, I don't think. I think she was having a great time overseas.
Doing her own thing.
Doing her own thing, yeah.
Yeah. Was that a big deal at the time? Like when you were named New Zealand Entertainer of the Year in 1970, is that like big news?
It's big news, yes, yeah. Yeah, it was great. It was like being put in the Hall of Fame, I suppose, in 2020, so...
Yeah. Wow, what a career. And you'd done all this and you were still just in your early 20s at this point.
Yeah,
Or 20.
I was just turned 20 at the end of that year.
Yeah. And then the very first ever festival in New Zealand, a festival called Redwood 70.
Yeah,
You were involved with that. Who was the headline act? It was one of the Bee Gees, right?
I think it was Robin Gibb, I
Robin
think.
Gibb, yeah. But there was there was all sorts of talk, like right up to the last minute of them trying to get like John Lennon and
Yeah, just all sorts of people. But
some
yeah.
major headline acts. Yeah,
But
where
it
was that?
started the festivals. I think it was out in Henderson, out
Right.
that way.
So what did a festival look like back then? I mean,
Pretty much like they do today.
Right.
Just a big stage. I think then it was on the back of a truck. Stage was the back of a big truck, and just lots of people on the lawn. Out on the lawn.
like how many people were there?
Not sure. Didn't count them. Probably 1,000, maybe
Yeah,
more.
right,
yeah,
right.
which was a lot for those days.
And is this where you met King Charles? He was Prince Charles back
No,
then?
no, that was another concert.
That was the same year.
Yes, same year. And I was still in the Chicks at that point. It was our last live performance as the Chicks. And Prince Charles and Princess Anne came to the show. It was put on for them especially. Max Cryer was in charge. And, of course, it was a beautiful day until the show started, and then it started to rain. So Judy and I were sliding around the stage in our high heels trying to stay upright and singing all our songs and doing our actions, which was extremely tricky. And I kept looking up at the little cover they'd made for Anne and Charles, and they were grinning away like they thought it was hilarious, of course. We must have looked ridiculous. And they came down Prince Charles came down and met us at the end of the show, which was lovely.
Yeah. What are your memories of that?
We were quite in awe of him, really.
Really?
Yeah, we were. If you look at the photo in the book, we're both looking down and looking very humble. So this is Prince Charles from London. And apparently Princess Anne said it was the best part of her whole trip, so probably because we looked so ridiculous on stage. All of us. So there was Ray Columbus and Larry Morris, all the usual people, on stage.
Yeah. Now, a big part of your career in the 1970s was with Cat Stevens, who Cat Stevens back then, would it be fair to say he's probably like Justin Bieber now or Ed Sheeran now? Like he was the man, right?
He was
like
huge.
probably the biggest male
Yeah.
pop singer in the world.
Yeah, he was, I suppose, yeah.
Yeah, how was that? Incredible?
It was incredible.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go at first.
Why not?
I was on a tour with Neil Sedaka and I was having a great time. And I had to leave that tour to go and start rehearsals with Cat Stevens because my new husband, I'd only been married for a year, was playing bass for him. So it was a 9-month-long tour, so, he offered me the chance, he offered our whole vocal group the chance to go. But only I went with another friend of mine, Anna Peacock, who was another Kiwi girl. She used to do all the write all the charts out for Happenin' here. So once I got into the rehearsals and met him and became part of the band, it was an amazing experience, yeah. I'm so glad I went.
Yeah. And you were with him for years?
Yes, yeah. Till the end of 76, really.
Do you have a favourite memory of Cat Stevens as a person, not as the superstar?
Lots.
Yeah.
I have lots of those. I think there's one I talk about in the book where he came and sang to me when I was sick. Other ones where, I don't know, we'd just go for a drive and talk, just chat. He was, I have the greatest love and respect for Cat Stevens, I have to say, or Yusuf Islam, as he is now. And we still keep in touch occasionally.
Yeah, well, he wrote the foreword to your book.
He did, which was really sweet of him. I cried when I read it.
Yeah, it's really poetic.
I had no idea he felt that way. Can
really?
I tell you?
What do you mean?
I didn't. I honestly didn't.
Yeah, I've got part of that foreword here. Suzanne was a bird of song from the distant land of Kiwis and flew like a breath of fresh air, whistling through our lives. It's very poetic.
It's very poetic.
Yeah.
Very lovely of him to write that.
So the biggest pop singer in the world at that time. What's the BTS on those tours? Like, what's it like behind the scenes? Was it private jets or anything? Or
No,
first-class flights? Or
No, he went first class. We were in cattle class because there were about 30 of us travelling. So, you become in a rhythm of, you get a thing under your door, be downstairs by 8:30, bags collected at 8, on the bus to the airport, off to the next town. So it just became a rhythm that we got into. But behind the scenes, especially in the first tour, he was fairly separate from us, I think. But we always had breakfast together and we always had dinners together. But he'd be in his room writing something, so we weren't so social with him as we were in the second tour. But I never saw anything. They were never drunk or anything like that. It was lots of people have said it's the straightest tour they've ever been on. So, so for me, who'd come up being the observer and being so naive and innocent, I fitted in really well.
What did you learn about artistry from being around him?
Oh, I learned I think I learned a lot of my artistry from Ray Columbus and Kevin Moore and Come On and Happenin'. And being with him, you had to be right. He'd record it every night. So you knew you were being recorded and you were just on your mettle. When the show started, everybody straightened up, and you can see it if you watch there's videos on YouTube of Cat Stevens 1976 live in the States. And I'm the little one in the white outfit in the middle. That's when I had 2 American girls from New York singing with me for the second tour. And you can see how the band are totally concentrating because his music is fairly intricate. All our vocal backing parts were quite intricate. But it was a wonderful challenge, is all I can say. I absolutely loved getting up there and getting it right because everyone's doing it for him,
Yeah, he sort of alludes to this in the foreword for the book. He says he had this vision, and you helped bring it to life. Was he a tough taskmaster?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
but I love that. It had to be right, and he's right. It has to be right.
Yeah.
When I sing with the Lady Killers, it has to be right. So that's why I'm so happy there too, because I love that fact that people actually dot the I's and cross the T's. And he was very much like that. He had a say in everything about what we wore, about the stage setup, getting the guys to wear hats and caps and stuff. I mean, it was just the thing of the day, And I mean, gosh, we had 18,000 people in the audience, so... But that didn't faze me at all. Interestingly, I was just in the moment with what we were doing.
Yeah, well, you performed so many of those songs for so many years. Do you have like a top 3 or an all-time favourite Cat Stevens song?
Moonshadow's one, because I got to sing that right at the opening of the show with him and Alan Davies, his guitarist, and we just did it in 3-part harmony, which was lovely. And then another one, Peace Train, because I got to really sing out.
Yeah.
Peace Train. There's so many of them, really. King of Trees is another one. That's just a beautiful song. I've always had a tree that I sit under, just like he did. So that really resonates with me too. But all his music is so special.
Yeah. Was this well known in New Zealand at the time? That
No.
Suzanne.
Obviously not.
Suzanne
No.
from the Chicks had gone on to do this, or was it
No.
not really sort of?
No.
Yeah. How was that? Was that frustrating? That feels almost like a bit sort of tall poppy, perhaps.
Yeah, no, I didn't really talk about it much. So when we came home, which was about 1980, because my son Andy was born in Wimbledon, and times changed. You know, Yusuf was now a Muslim, not doing music at that point. We were still doing session work, but it was harder taking a baby along to session work. And Bruce got offered to buy into Mandrel Studios here, and he did extremely well back here, actually. He produced a lot of people. He did Dave Dobbins' Slice of Heaven, Peking Man, Room That Echoes, Shona Lang's, he did a lot of...
Glad I'm
Not a Kennedy. Yeah. He did a lot of great stuff.
Wow.
So it was great for him to come back, and I was raising children at the time, so times changed. Punk music came in London and kind of ruined the session scene, and all the session players started doing things like theatre and different things, so I guess it was time to come back, but I have to say I came home kicking and screaming. I didn't really want to go home. I was having a great time over there.
Yeah, what are you? Because that was a big deal at the time, I'd imagine. Like, Cat Stevens, one of the world's biggest singers, converting to Muslim and changing his name. Yeah, like as someone that was close to him and close to that. What are your recollections of that at the time? Was that shocking?
It was hard for me. Yeah, it was hard. I had to think that my friend was no more. He was this kind of different person for a while, but it's come round full circle, and now we're back friends again. So, yeah, he just became very Muslim at first. He was actually a Buddhist when I met him. So we had great vegetarian food backstage. We had a chef travel with us on tour. I missed the Steve I knew, I suppose. But
Steve, you call him Steve?
That was his name.
Oh, is it? I'm sorry, I don't know what I...
Sorry. Yeah, Stephen...
You ruined the illusion.
Stephen Demetrio Giorgio was his name. Yeah, Yusuf.
For 52 years, I thought it was Cat.
Well, it was Cat, yeah, but his actual name was... we all called him Steve.
Yeah, and he came over and performed at a memorial concert in Christchurch after the mosque shooting. Did you guys reconnect then?
Not when he did the mosque, no. Bruce played double bass for him there, yeah. But I did do his show in Christchurch that in 2017, I think it was. He came out here and did Auckland and Christchurch. And I did fly down to Christchurch and do his show down there. Just sang one song.
Yeah, what song was that?
Oh, Very Young, which is...
Oh, yeah, you're on that song.
Yeah.
You're on the recording. If you listen to the recording... Oh, that's a great song. That's one of my favourites.
Yeah, it's lovely. Yeah,
I love that one.
That
one and probably Father and Son. You're not on Father and Son, though, right?
No. Oh, well, I was on stage, but not recording. Yeah.
All right, God, these are great stories, by the way, Suzanne. Are they good memories?
Oh, yeah. I mean, gosh, that's why...
Shit, what a rich life,
That's why I thought I have to tell my grandchildren, and then someone said, well, you should be sharing it because it's a bit of history, you know.
Yeah, it is, and I feel like history does get forgotten.
Well, New Zealanders can do anything, is what I discovered.
Yeah, absolutely.
We leave here thinking we live in this little country that's miles away from anywhere, but actually there's a lot of very talented people in this country.
Oh, yeah, no, it is also worth highlighting. Yeah, I mean... The world's like a global community now. You got FaceTime.
Absolutely,
you can get hold of
it is.
It was different back then.
The world's a very small place now.
Like phone calls back then were expensive. Were you writing letters home to your parents, or
I was making tapes, little tapes. Yeah, because that was the easiest way. Post a tape. If we rang, which was every now and then we'd ring, it was like £3 a minute or something to ring New Zealand. Ludicrous, yeah. So I made cassette tapes. We used to send each other cassettes to my parents, and they'd send one back.
Yeah, so yeah, you guys must have been trouble for your parents. So suddenly you become household names when you're 15, then in your
And then we
20s you
disappeared.
fly overseas, and they don't know what the hell's going
No,
on.
they were quite confused by all that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a completely different time. So nice reflecting on this stuff. It's really cool.
Oh, good.
Let's drop some other names because you've worked with a whole lot of people. Chris de Burgh, the Lady in Red guy.
Yep. I've done a few songs on his album because I did a lot of work. Paul Samuel Smith was Cat Stevens' producer, and he became sort of part of the family of the people I mixed with there, and he got me on to all of those. There was another one, Chris de Burgh, and the other guy that did Say It Ain't So, Joe. Who's that?
I don't know.
No. Oh, I've got it there. I'll have a look. I can't remember. Isn't that terrible? I can't remember his name. I can remember all the songs, but I can't remember his name.
Yeah. So, what was Chris de Burgh like?
Great. He was just a guy in a studio, and he was really nice. Yeah. I mean, I was just doing what they asked.
Olivia Newton-John. Did you record with her in
Abbey Road? Yeah.
The iconic Abbey Road. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
What the hell? That's crazy.
She was great, Olivia. Yeah, she was great.
Yeah, what'd you do with her?
If you love me, let me know. If you don't, then let me go. Yeah. That was the main song of her album. If you love me, let me go.
What was she like? Was she lovely?
Lovely. Yeah. She was just one of the girls.
Thank you. If you said anything bad about Olivia, I might have to fight you. I
No,
won't hear a bad word about
she
it.
was the original girl next door. She was so lovely. She came in and she just... Bones were there, the vocal group that I'm in, and we just hit it off like a house on fire. And she was going, you're from New Zealand, and I'm from Australia, and it was great.
So what year was this? Was this like pre-Grease or...?
It was the end of 74, I think.
Right, so just pre-Grease.
Yeah.
So she was a big star at the time?
Yep,
Yeah,
she was, yes, yeah.
And Abbey Road, were you just like, I mean, you're from New Zealand, like in your teens, you're doing Beatles songs.
I wish we'd had cell phones in those days because we could have got a photo of us walking over the crossing because we all walked over the crossing and pretended to be, the Beatles. But yeah, it's just a really nice recording studio.
Yeah, everyone.
It's iconic.
Everyone that's been there has done that photo. The big surprise I got when I first went to London was just how busy that road is.
Yes.
It's actually really hard to get a good photo.
It is, yeah.
What else? Oh, David, did you go to a party at David Bowie's house?
Yes, we got invited by Tony and Mary, so we went along, and he was great. He showed me his new kimono that he was about to wear on tour. And there was this little boy running around who was a real annoyance, and it was 2 a.m. and he was still running around, and I said, I want his blood bottled. It turned out to be Slash's little brother.
Wow.
Yeah, because Slash's mum was David Bowie's dresser and sorted all his clothes, did all his outfits for stage. But he was great, David. I mean, they're just people like you and I, really. I always used to tell myself, well, they still get up and have breakfast like I do. They're just people. It never fazed me, really. It's just... That's why I've never really talked about it much. You just feel like you're name dropping.
Yeah. Well, this card is literally called name droppers.
No, it's awful.
Oh no, but these are some iconic people we're talking about here.
Yeah.
So it's, but you when you're with someone like David Bowie, it doesn't feel like he's got like an aura about him or something special. Or they just feel normal. Maybe it's in the environment you're with them.
Well, I was just at his home.
Yeah.
He was. I mean, I'm sure when he's backstage and on stage, I went to see him in New York, and he was amazing. That was a big space theme. He came out on one of those big high. What are they called? The things that come out over the stage. That was the first time anyone had seen that, and he was like a different person up there, all made up. Doing his thing.
Yeah, I suppose if you're at his house and he's dressed up like Ziggy Stardust, it'd be a different...
Well, that's right, yeah. He was just David, yeah.
Yeah. Luther Vandross?
He was lovely, yeah. He was huge. He sang some...
Huge as in a big star or huge in stature?
In stature at that point, because he was overdoing the rehearsals for the Diamond Dog tour for David Bowie. He was one of the vocal backings. And Tony Visconti, who was recording a song for me in his studio, at home studio, because they were our best friends, Tony and Mary. He he asked him to come along and sing BVs, and he did, and then we just all had dinner around the kitchen table, and great singer, huge pipes, and
legend,
and
absolute
lovely.
legend.
Saw him quite a bit actually, because he was always visiting Tony. But he became a soloist after that.
A bit closer to home, Billy T. James.
Oh yes, I love Billy.
The late, great Billy T. James. Yeah, what did you and Billy T. James do together?
We were just doing a show down in Napier, I think it was. Did a few shows with him when I was back. That's all. Had a few laughs with Billy. He was great.
Yeah, what like?
You'll have to read the book to find out.
No, I've read the book. I was hoping you might share the story about the game he used to play.
Oh, the game.
Yeah.
Ah, right. The game was, we were on a flight coming home in a small plane, and they lit the runway by holding torches. We shouldn't have been flying really when we took off, because it wasn't a lit runway. And we got up there, and Billy just said, "Oh, let's play a game. Let's put the word, can I say it?
Yeah.
Shit at the end of a song. All you need is shit, kind of thing, that kind of thing." And I was just sitting there giggling away because the boys were all coming up with all these things. And there was a silence for a while, and he looked at me and he said, "Suzanne, you haven't said one." And I said, "Billy, I'm saving all my shit for you." And he collapsed and he said, "Suzanne is the winner." So it was just a silly game. We used to play all sorts of games like that, word games and things. He was just a great guy.
Yes, he was so funny, but also an incredible singer, eh? I remember growing up, I think he did a song for one of the telethons one year called When a Child is Born. And he sang it phenomenally well.
Yes,
incredible voice.
He was a big talent.
Yeah. Oh, and you would have reconnected with him again when you did the Sailing Away song for the America's Cup?
Yes, yep.
Yeah, he was involved in that. Yeah, what are your recollections of that? A lot of people won't even remember the song, but there was so there's like Band-Aid, Do They Know It's Christmas, USA for Africa, We Are the World, and then here in New Zealand we did there was like a collection
Sailing Away.
A collection of people called All of Us, which is basically the who's who of New Zealand celebrity culture at the time, doing the song called Sailing Away. I watched it on YouTube yesterday. It's a terrible song, eh?
It was great in the day.
Oh, it was massive. It was number one for like a million weeks, right?
That's right.
It was number one for ages.
Amazing.
Yeah, so Billy T. James is in it, Tim Finn, Dave Dobbin, yourself. Who else?
Oh, gosh, Bunny Walters.
Ray Wolf.
Ray Wolf. Anybody that was anybody, really.
Yeah.
Billy T. Who else? Let me see. There were a lot of...
Satellite Spies.
Yeah, Satellite Spies, that little boxer guy, what was his name?
Precious McKenzie.
Yeah, Precious McKenzie. He was there.
Little boxer guy. So that was done on one day, or was it done over a few days, or?
Well, the filming was done in one day up at the museum. But Murray Grindley was in charge of the music, and I went into the studio for him and recorded all the parts so that each person could learn their line, and did some harmonies and that sort of thing. And then he got each person in one by one to sing. So we actually got all those people in to sing their one line, and that's how it became All of Us. So, yeah.
And then was it on the back end of that you got to go to San Diego to sing the national anthem after New Zealand won the America's Cup?
Don't talk about it.
Oh, really? Why?
Yes, it was. Yeah, it was after that. Yeah, because I was friendly with my children. All went to school with Ross Blackman's family and Sir Peter Blake's, so we all became friends up there from school. And he rang one morning at about 6 o'clock and said, "Susie, can you get a band together by 1 o'clock on a plane to go to San Diego?" And I said, "Yes," as I always do, and then try and figure out what to do about it. And I did manage that, and we went, and of course they asked me, we sang and we went straight on stage at about 6:30 and didn't finish till 3 in the morning and hadn't even had a break because of the atmosphere there was just so electric. It was great. And we got some of the guys up to sing and all that sort of thing. And they asked me to sing the national anthem the next day, and So as usual, I said, yeah, sure. And then thought, do I know it well enough? Who can play it? And I asked the band, and none of them could play it. Not even Bruce could play it. And I thought, oh, no. So I'll have to sing it a cappella. And so I looked at Pete Morgan and I said, Pete, do you think you could come up and just sing it next to me? And, I'll sing it and we'll have a Māori person and a Kiwi person. It'd be quite cool. 2 Kiwis on stage. So he came up. But he got the message wrong and told the whole band, we're all singing with Susie. So the whole band got up on stage and everybody sang the national anthem, which was not good.
But was this just for the team, for like Team New Zealand?
It was when they got their award.
Right.
The cameras were rolling.
Oh, okay. Oh, so it was televised.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, it still seems like you're mortified about it now.
I am. I always will be.
Oh, is it on YouTube somewhere? Can we
I have
find
no
it?
idea. Don't you dare find it. No.
So who was in the team at the time? Was this the Sir Peter Blake era?
Yes.
Wow. How cool. Mm-hmm. So you got to hang out with him?
Oh, yeah, I knew Peter quite well.
Yeah.
And his wife was a beautiful artist, yeah.
Lady Pippa.
Yeah. She did some lovely artwork.
Wow, so many cool experiences. Hey,
Yeah,
over so many decades.
I guess so, yeah.
And then there's a lot of stuff. I suppose this is just the life of a New Zealand musician. You got to put food on the table. Lots of advertising jingles over the years.
I did lots of advertising, yeah.
One that I remember. Cats prefer chef. That's you.
Cats prefer chef. Meow.
That's iconic. What else? There's a Woolworths jingle that you did with Annie Crummer. I don't know this one.
No, I can't remember it either. I just remember it was for Woolworths and there were 3 words in it. Something Woolworths go now or something. I don't know. But I know it took us about 30 takes to get the right one. Yeah. But I did the first gig with Annie in a studio, which was really neat. She was only 16 then, I think.
Oh, so this is before she was in For Today with
heck
Netherworld
yes,
Dancing
yes,
Toys.
before,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, incredible.
Yeah.
And there was another advertising jingle which I couldn't find online and I've never heard it, but for Greg's instant pudding.
Oh gosh,
isn't it? It's very cute and nostalgic to think that like a Greg's instant pudding had its own TV ad.
Yeah.
Compared to where things are at now, and this was on TV for 14 years.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
According to your book.
14 years. The Greg's instant pudding.
Yeah.
The Greg's instant pudding. I'm thinking of the coffee one. Okay.
Did you do it like a Greg's instant coffee?
Yeah,
as
we
well?
did. We did. The coffee one was, they came to our house and filmed that one. No, the Greg's instant pudding was, yes.
How did that go?
Oh my gosh, now you're really testing me. Gosh, I used to know it backwards. I've erased it from my mind because there was 3 words in that.
Right. What other ones? What other words did you?
Do you know, every time I walked out of the studio, I could never remember what they were for. It was just
doing the job.
You were so focused when you were in the studio, and then you went. There was one about tomato soup, I recall. One about McDonald's. Just lots of them, and lots with other singers as well. Jackie Fitzgerald, Erin Clark, people like that.
Did they pay well?
They did in those days,
Yep.
yeah, it was good.
Yep. There's not enough jingles on TV these days, I reckon.
No, the jingle business has dropped its ball, I'm afraid.
So we're into the 2000s now. It's quite funny, like hearing you talk about like going from the 1960s to the 1970s and then 1970s into 1980s. It seems like each of those decades was different, and there was like a turning point at the beginning of each decade. But it doesn't feel like that happens anymore, eh? It feels like the decades just sort of roll into
each other. Yeah.
Would you agree?
I agree.
Yeah. So into the 2000s, you were the vocal coach for 3 seasons of New Zealand's Idol and New Zealand Idol and New Zealand's Got Talent.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are your recollections of that?
Well, there were a lot of very young kids in there with lots of talent. And I spent a lot of time, mopping up tears, I have to say.
Did seeing these kids get instant fame sort of, I don't know, could you empathise or sort of relate to them, given your own journey?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. No, I enjoyed teaching them. It was long hours, hard work, but just teach. Because I'd done a bit of everything. I could teach them how to be on camera, and I'd also done lots of television, so I knew about that. I had 3 years of singing lessons, so I knew about vocal technique to try and help their singing improve and give them ideas of what song to sing, what not to sing, and and just be on stage basically. So I had the experience. I was passing on experience, is what I thought. Yeah,
your IP. Why do you think none of these artists have managed longevity?
I think it's just the modern world, really. Yeah. They were on television, it's all in your face, and then guess what? The next one's up, Some of them have. Michael Murphy's still doing well in the corporate world.
Yeah, that's
still
true.
Singing.
That's true. That was a big season, I remember that.
Yes,
yeah, that was huge.
It was huge.
Michael Murphy and Ben Lummis.
And they got mobbed and screamed at when they went to malls and stuff like that. So television was, really building them up. And Michael Murphy got a career out of it, and he came second. So,
Yeah, what would your advice be for anyone hoping to pursue a career in music? Don't do it.
It's really tough. I'm teaching a young man now called Nathan Fry, who's an amazing artist. He's writing his own songs now. He plays guitar, he records his own harmonies, he's got loop pedals, and I've taught him since he was about 12, and he's 16 now. And he's actually opening for the band that Andrew's playing for, so he's out there gigging. And I think the best way is to write your own material these days, get it on YouTube. Get your own YouTube channel, and but the biggest thing is keep your ego in your back pocket, because the people you meet on the way up are the same people you're going to meet on the way down. And I think, if you just concentrate on writing some music, once people get a hold of it, you've got to have you can get discovered, but you've got to have the talent to back it up with. Yeah. So do your homework, basically.
Do you think? With where the internet's at now, and you've got social media, you got TikTok, YouTube, as you just mentioned, Spotify, all these other
all
things.
those things.
Do you think it's easier or harder to carve a music career now?
I think it's much harder.
Yeah.
Much harder, because the world's become a very small place, and you're putting your music out against 500 other people that have just put their new song out. So it's quite hard. But Nathan's got record producers chasing him now and all that sort of thing, and he's going to do well. Wow. But he's one of many, that have tried.
And you made the Queen's Birthday honours list for services to entertainment. What year was that?
2001, I think.
Right. Yeah, how was that?
Oh, that was great.
Yeah.
I flew down to Wellington and...
How does that happen? Do you get notified by? Does someone call you?
I think I got notified by mail in those days. Yeah, but that was a real honour. I was really pleased about that. It was lovely to get.
Yeah, yeah. What does it mean to you?
Well, I've got my medal. I guess it was someone actually noticing that I'd had an achievement. I'd been throwing myself into helping people in the music business ever since I got back to New Zealand, and trying to grow new talent and pass on what I'd learned, really. So it was an acknowledgement. Yeah, that was really special.
Do you have a room or a space at home with,
I like to keep it real down home, so I just teach in my lounge.
Yeah.
And
no, I mean into like a trophy room or a she shed or a shrine.
No.
Really? Why?
Oh, no, that would be boasting.
But did you get a TUI award for for making the Hall of Fame in 2020 at the New Zealand Music Awards?
Beautiful award, yeah.
Yeah, where's that?
It's in my little office.
Yeah. Yeah, you must have some stuff. Yeah,
that no one sees.
But When you go in there, it's your office. When you go in there and you see these things, what do you think?
It's only been the last 5 years, really, that I think as I've got older, that I've sort of realised what I've done, if you know what I mean. And I've actually got the awards out and cleaned them off and decided, oh, they better sit in my office on the mantel, which is where they sit.
So
but people don't see them if they come to my house.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Is there an actual physical award for the New Zealand Entertainer of the Year?
Oh, absolutely. It's beautiful. Yeah, it's a big award.
Suzanne, put them in the lounge.
No.
Put them in the foyer by the front door. Yeah. Why do you think it's only recently that you've sort of acknowledged them or reflected on them? Is it just because you've got this sort of growth mindset and you're constantly working and constantly saying
just
yes?
Constantly learning and moving along really.
And is now just the right time or the chapter in your life to reflect on what you've done?
Maybe so. Yeah. Maybe now I've got a bit older, but I'm still moving ahead. So they're in the office anyway.
Yeah. Oh, how good. Oh, the Dixie Chick stuff.
Oh, yeah, the Dixie Chicks.
Dixie Chicks, one of the biggest country bands in the world. They changed their... Why? I don't know. I completely missed this. What's the story with Dixie? Is Dixie an offensive word now?
Well, it was in the...
connotation?
It was in the Me Too or something, or when all the Africans, were getting in trouble with the police over there. It's sort of not a good word, Dixie. And they didn't want to be associated with all of that was going on in America at the time. So they wanted to get rid of the word Dixie. And, of course, they did their homework and found out the only place where there was someone else called the Chicks was New Zealand. So their New York lawyer got in touch and basically said, could we have the name the Chicks? And eventually we agreed, yeah. And that was fine, but they agreed to share the name in the end because we'd had the Chicks for years and years.
Yeah, 50 years.
Yes, but it hadn't been registered. So he said, well, we're going to use it anyway. And I said, well, we'd like to share it with you. It would be fine. And the girls said, yes, let's share it. So we're still the Chicks here, and they're the Chicks the rest of the world.
Oh, so it was like a courtesy email.
It was like yeah.
Yeah. What did that mean to you?
Well, we hadn't performed for a long, long time, so it didn't worry me too much. Judy was a bit upset about it, I think.
Was she?
Mm-hmm.
Why so?
Well, her association's always been as one of the Chicks, but we're still the Chicks, so it worked out fine in the end. Yeah.
Did was there a chance to get a payday or anything? Get some money out of them or no?
Well, I'm not moving house, no.
But they yes. So okay. So did you have anything to do with the band themselves, or no? It was just done through lawyers.
It was all done through. But the girls did send us a nice message. But yeah, I mean, they're a big group, so it was all through managers and lawyers, really.
Yeah. They put a message up on social media to their millions of
followers.
Yes,
they did.
Saying, our sincere and heartfelt thanks goes out to the Chicks of New Zealand for their gracious gesture and allowing us to share their name. Yeah. We are honoured to coexist in the world with these exceptionally talented sisters. Chicks rock. Yeah.
Which was really nice of them, yeah.
That make you feel good?
Yeah, because I love the Dixie Chicks. They were great. And well, they still are. And when they were in Auckland... they did a concert in Auckland not long ago, and I couldn't go, but Judy and her daughter went, and they thanked us publicly, and she stood up. Judy stood up and took a bow, and they took a photo with her and all that sort of thing. So that was really nice.
Seems quite gracious that they asked.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. Although we'd owned it for 50 years, so they kind of had to ask.
Yeah, but devil's advocate here, you weren't using it.
No, we weren't using it.
Use it or lose it.
No, well, Viking Records, funnily enough, had just released our Chicks album in the States. So it actually came out in the USA, and that's probably how they found, here's someone called the Chicks. And they'd hear us singing, Kumala Beast Day. I think, what the heck is that, probably? But it was there from 1960, 68 or 67, yeah.
Yeah. Ray Columbus, who he's a friend. Would you say he's a mentor as well?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely a mentor.
So he got unwell. Used to have a lot to do with him, and then before he passed, he asked you to sing at his funeral.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that like? That's so special, right?
That was very special. I used to go and visit him when he wasn't too well towards the end there.
Because he passed away when?
Oh, I don't know. When was it? A few years ago now.
Yeah.
Anyway, he wanted me to sing "Wind Beneath My Wings" because one of his best friends in America had co-written that song, and so I did. The first verse was really hard to get through, but after that, I sang like there was no tomorrow. You know, I just sang it for him, and then we, as they took him out, we sang "She's a Mod" with Nathan King from Z. And Billy Karaitiana, who was his bass player and who I've known for years. So Max Cryer did the talking, you know, but not many people talked because Max said if we get one person up, we'll be here all day, basically, because Ray was very, very popular and he was the greatest manager for the Rumour. I mean, Judy married one of the Rumour and he managed them, he managed Shane, he managed us. And he was the best manager in the world because he wouldn't stop talking about you to people, you know.
Yeah, he was such a champion
I
for
owe
New
him
Zealand
a lot.
music, eh?
I owe him an awful lot, yeah.
Yeah, that must be an incredibly humbling thing, like to know that you've had that impact on someone that they want you to sing at their funeral.
That's
they
right.
ask you themselves.
And which song to sing, yeah.
Yeah. What's I mean, it's the downside of getting older, isn't it? You see friends that pass away.
Yep.
What's your relationship like with ageing and mortality?
Well, I try not to think about how old I am. I just am. And if I can get up in the morning, it's a good day.
Well, you don't look it or seem it.
Oh, thanks.
And you don't feel it?
No. I mean, I'm still out there singing Sweet Child of Mine and River Deep, Mountain High without too much trouble.
Yeah, aging disgracefully, as they say.
That's me. I'm aging
Only way to do it.
disgracefully. Yeah.
What about some of the biggest adversities you've gone through in your life? Not like no one gets to the privilege of making it into their 70s without going through some sort of hardship. What's it been for you?
Hardship.
You had a marriage breakup.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, is that rough?
It's always rough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mainly my health things, I suppose. Those health things I had, like when I thought I could never sing again, that was terrible. Yeah, mostly health things. That's the only things. I've just soldiered on and kept going forward. You know, I think everybody has to get up with a purpose. That's my motto.
Yeah.
Have a purpose.
Yeah. Yeah. Where does your resilience come from?
My father. He was like that. I remember him out fishing. He used to go fishing with some older people. He had a big truck he'd drive, and they'd all be in this big 4-wheel drive, and out they'd go to the beach and put out a line, not the flash ones that go out these days, but, you know, the old ones that you throw it out and you reel it in and all that sort of thing. And he was 89 when he was doing that. And he complained to me one day that there was a lady there that only made the sandwiches, you know. Doesn't help pull the fish in or anything. And I said, well, how old is she, Pop? She's only 85, he said. So, you know, he just never thought about age either. He just went on with it, got on with life, kept busy.
Yeah. Your mental health's been good over your life?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think it is? Like mental health and awareness about mental health just
I think
wasn't...
my cup's always half full, is what I decided.
Just your attitude.
And I think you can choose to be happy, basically. I've just always been quite placid, bubbling along.
Just go with the flow.
Go with the flow, yeah.
If you had to start over, what would you do differently?
Ooh, that's a tricky one.
Probably nothing. Very little, eh?
Very little. Very little.
Yeah.
I mean, I always wanted to be a vet, obviously. But I'd never have put an animal down. You know, I'm a big softie with animals, so it's probably a good choice that my mother said, no, you're going to be a secretary. So, you know, that was... and
You showed her, you became a pop star.
And I became...
It seems like, even though it was very, very unorthodox, it seems like your parents got quite a rush out of it.
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they were more excited than us. You know, I was like, oh, here I go again, you know, learn another song. But I was fell in love with music by the time I was 16, really. And I remember the Supremes and, you know, all those groups that came out. They were just so good in those days. And then when I heard the Fifth Dimension, that was like, wow. So music was exciting to me because we were breaking new barriers all the time in those days.
What excites you now musically in terms of like current or newish artists? You keep up to date with things?
I do try to, yeah. I mean,
what do you like?
my pupils keep me up to date. I find nobody wants to learn to walk anymore. They just want to run. They all want to be Katy Perry yesterday. And I have to point out to them that, well, this has been dropped in, you know, like the reason you can't breathe there is they've just continued that on artificially kind of thing. So music's changed an awful lot these days. I still love the old Joni Mitchell songs personally.
Yeah.
And there's a few people that are starting to go back that way, just simple guitar and voice, you know. I'd love to do something like that with the Ladykillers. We're sort of thinking about just doing a lovely little concerts just with acoustic guitars and singing beautiful harmony songs in the future, next year.
I love how active you still are.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And you're still like looking ahead, still making plans.
Making plans, yeah.
It's really cool. It's really cool. I'm 52 now, so I've started.
Oh, you're young.
I've started looking. I started looking for like aging role models. So you see people in their 70s and 80s and see what they're doing, and you try and sort of work backwards. I think
I'm too busy to get old.
No, I think you know what? I think that's part of the key. It's keeping busy.
Yep.
Need a reason to get out of bed in the morning, eh?
That's it. Have a purpose.
When people look back on Suzanne Lynch in 50 years, what do you hope they'll say?
Well, gosh, she had a fun time. Who knew that just saying yes would open up all these doors? You know, I think, I don't know what they'd say, really. I guess they'd say she had she'd had a great time and a very interesting life.
Yeah, she crammed a lot in.
She crammed a lot in, and she was cramming it until the end.
Well, hopefully they'll still say, and she's still going, 124.
Of course they will.
How do you personally define happiness now?
I'm just happy within myself. I mean, I have a great time with my grandchildren. Both my children are very close to me. They're great. Love them to bits. Bruce, my husband, my ex-husband, we still give each other a hug when we see each other and say hi, and it's all... I'm just a happy person, really, and I've got the love of the girls that I sing with, and I'm doing these jobs with Shane, you know, and Shazam, which are just fun. I'm getting out there doing 60s music, and with the Ladykillers, of course, it's much more complicated stuff. I've got a funny story to tell you, actually. I was chasing my cat, the naughty cat.
Not Cat Stevens.
No, not that cat. No, I was chasing Sir Buddy, my pussycat, and I tripped on our footpath, gave myself a black eye, and I got sent to hospital to have a head and brain scan, and that was only a few months ago. And so I got the scan at the hospital, and I'm sitting there, and the specialist came over and he said, "Suzanne, yes, I've got something to tell you." I said, "What?" "What?" "You've got a beautiful brain." I said, "Pardon?" He said, "Your brain, for your age, mostly they shrink from your skull." So he said, "You haven't broken your bone and your brain is absolutely perfect," because the Shaw Care thought I might have had a brain bleed. And he said, "No, there's nothing wrong with you because your brain hasn't parted from your skull." And he said, "That's from learning songs and being active on both sides of your brain for years and years and years. So apparently I have a beautiful brain.
Well,
How's that?
You take these compliments when you can get them.
And I was so surprised.
What's a perfect day for you these days?
Oh, sitting out on my deck and having my morning coffee and looking at the sun, if there's any sun. I go for a walk. Sometimes I pick my grandkids up from school. I teach people still. And I'm still learning songs to go and do gigs. Yeah. I met up with the Lady Killers just the other day, and we all had lunch and had a good chat. We just have this love and respect for each other that will just never die, I don't think.
Yeah.
We just get on so well, and that's very unusual for a three-girl group, really.
Is it? Why?
Well, usually groups, any kind of group, doesn't last 20 years.
Oh, there's some friction or personality clash. Or
We don't have that,
Yeah.
you know. We're so different, but we've got such respect for each other and what we each can do, and our voices are all completely different. But when we sing together, it's like one voice. And as I say, we just have a lot of fun on our gigs.
Why do you think there is no friction there? Do you think it's just because you're all at that stage of life where you drop the ego and there's a respect for each other?
I mean, you just put your ego in your back pocket, you know. People with egos don't last long, I don't think. There's a lot of people that have, you know, you're up 1 minute, as I say to my pupils, you're up 1 minute and it's all happening and then it's not happening. What are you going to do, you know? And that can crush some people, and that's when they get depressed or they get lonely or whatever. But I've just kept, I don't know, just doing that really all the way.
Yeah, I say to people, you want to be reliable, easy to work with, and do a good job.
You've got to turn up on time, dressed right, know your stuff. That's the bottom line.
If you're a pain in the ass, that's when the work dries up, no matter how talented you are, right?
That's right.
Yeah. What about fears? What are you most afraid of?
What am I most afraid of? I don't like swimming in deep water. That's about it, really. Because I went under once when I was a little kid, and the man saved me and got me to shore. So my daughter's always trying to get me to hop in their swimming pool, and I make every excuse under the sun. And if I do, I stay in the shallow end. So that's about my only fear. I don't know. I never think about fear too much.
Any regrets?
I suppose everybody fears a little bit dying.
Yeah.
But I figure that's a long way off, so I'm not going to worry about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I'm scared of dying. I think I'm just scared of the FOMO factor, you know, missing out on stuff.
Yeah. Missing out.
When you're gone, you're gone.
You can't see if when your grandchildren get married and things like that. I remember my mother saying that to me. It's like, you know, I won't get to see what you do with so and so, and that's got to be the hardest part for everybody, really, when you're close to your family.
Yeah, I'm not scared of dying. I just don't want to, really.
I'm too busy.
Yeah, too much.
I'm too busy for it. I haven't got time for it. Yeah.
Any regrets, professional or personal?
No, I'd like to think that I don't really have regrets. No.
And future goals? Where do you see yourself at 80?
Oh, I see myself sitting on my deck having a coffee, going up for a walk, playing with my grandchildren, and probably going out and doing a gig.
Just doing what you're doing now.
Doing what I'm doing now. Don't see why not.
That to me says you're living your best life.
I am.
Yeah, you're living the life you want.
Yeah.
That's so cool. It's brilliant, hey?
It's taken me 74 years to find it, and I found it.
What do you mean? No, firstly, you've been doing it all along.
Yeah, but I've always been so busy.
Yeah.
But now I've got a little bit of time to just do what I want to do. If I want to meet some friends for a coffee, I've now got time to go and meet friends for a coffee. I've got some great friends that I catch up with. And, you know, life is good. Life is good.
It was a whole lifetime ago, from the 1960s and the Chicks. But like, do you miss that, the intensity of that fame, that recognition? I mean, now you're a pensioner. You can ride the bus for free.
So I've heard.
No, you drove here today. Yeah. Do you miss that or not so much? Is the level of fame you've got now enough?
Oh, it's enough. Believe me, it's enough. Yeah.
Yeah. You still get recognised.
I'm happy. Yes, I do. Surprisingly.
Yeah.
Someone just came up to me when I was having coffee with the pills, my mates that I meet every Friday.
The pills?
Yeah, because they all take pills, except for me. So I called them the pills of the round table.
Right. Well, I thought maybe it's some band I haven't heard, some indie band or something.
No, they've all been in the music business, but they're all pensioners now. But they don't look like pensioners. They're all up and happening,
Yeah.
And a lady came up and said, "Oh, I remember you. Thank you so much for your music." And that's still amazing. I'm always surprised to me that they still recognise me, but that's lovely. It's nice.
Well, it says you've had a huge impact on people, eh?
Must have.
Yeah.
I didn't realise it at the time.
Well, it's nice that you're taking time now to do this book project and pause and reflect on some of the stuff you've done.
It's just a bit of time of reflection, or it was, during COVID, really.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people probably had that. I had to stay at home. My little granddaughter, she was only 5, and Amy brought her to the door, and they stood over by about 3 or 4, 5 feet away from me, and she'd left a little parcel on my doorstep in COVID, and I opened it up, and she had her pocket money and a mirror, and I said, "You bought me your pocket money?" And she said, "Oh, Nanny, you might need the money because, you can't work at the moment." And I said, "No, I can't." I said, "What's the mirror for, Lily?" And she said, "Oh, well, you might be lonely. You can look at yourself." Oh. And that finished me off, honestly. And just in case you're lonely, you can look in the mirror. And I thought, the mind of a child, how wonderful is that?
That's beautiful, isn't it?
Isn't that beautiful?
Are there 3 words that you'd like to think family and friends would use to describe you? Say your adult children were here or your grandkids. What 3 words?
Where are you going?
Where are you going? No, that's 4.
No, that's 4. Okay.
I'm thinking more like character traits or personality traits.
I have no idea.
What do you reckon? What would you like?
I'd like to think they think I'm a nice person.
So kind.
Yeah.
That can be
I'm
one.
kind. I have empathy. I still go with the flow. And if they want me, I'm there. Yep.
Oh, I think that's a great place to end it. What a life.
Thank you.
What a life.
Hey, it's not over yet.
No, absolutely. No. I mean, what a life as in the shit you've got done so far. Is it nice to reflect?
Yeah, it is now.
Yeah. Cool.
It is.
Well, this has been really nice. I've really enjoyed this
Thanks,
today, and I hope you have too.
I really have.
Suzanne Lynch, you're a great New Zealander.
Thank you.
And thanks for coming on the podcast.